She is the snack at VBS. So I met Miss Pat when I started doing VBS a long time ago. And she is so passionate and I love going to snacks. Love her.
That's why we're in the kitchen. Because this is where the magic happened. Actually, weeks before Vacation Bible School even started, she would be doing the math to figure out exactly how many Doritos she had to buy for day 3 snack. And how those Doritos could tell Jesus' story and his love.
So welcoming. Yeah, and she just has this beauty that radiates from her. Just
I've known Pat since I came here 23 years ago as a single person. And Pat prayed for my husband, my 3 boys, when we were trying to get pregnant. We've always had a special bond with her because of that reason. She's the most godliest woman that I've ever known.
I remember her from GA's crafts.
Really?
She always did crafts with us, and she would, just as she is with the snacks, she'd be very interested in explaining why we're doing the crafts we're doing.
I coerced her, convinced, encouraged, pushed her to be involved in VBS and asked her to help me out with the preschoolers. I don't know if she knew what she was getting into. Well, over 10, 12, 13, 14 years later, this wonderful hands and feet of Christ worked on making sure the kids knew how much God loved them.
It's been hard for me to deal with, but what God has told me is that I cannot question a master when the master says the servant should stop work. So it's God was saying, Mrs. Matthews, you've done enough. Get off the clock and come and rest.
I just remember from VBS, I think probably Shar and I mostly remember her prayers before snack time, and when the crews would go in and help make the snack, her prayer was just so sweet and genuine every time.
Pat Matthews to me is somewhat like a role model kind of, because she was always at the church and she was always helping with everything. She was a really nice person.
She was always having good snacks for us, and she was a really big part of this church.
Role model, but in Christ, because she was just a big godly person, and she just was really kind to everyone.
She was like the head honcho of the cooking, the chef, and she always gave us seconds.
She was like every VBS, I was like so excited to see her at snack. She makes awesome.
She's so great about making you feel special.
She was really nice. She made delicious snacks, and she's really sweet. And every VBS, I was always looking forward to seeing her.
She would always be very nice to us.
It was a pleasure for me and an honor to be able to serve side by side with Pat Matthews for many, many years during VBS. She has an amazing heart. She's an amazing prayer warrior. She's definitely going to be missed here on earth, but we know that she's dancing with Jesus in heaven.
Well, Pat Matthews was one of my really good friends, and she was my life group leader. And she just was a great lady of Jesus. She was a great example of it, and I'm so glad she was my friend.
Pat was my mentor, my very best friend here on earth. My sister in Christ, she meant everything to me. She loved Thursdays, and she would have been right there standing against the wall, just taking that all in. But I know she's looking down from heaven, and the Lord allowed her to see all the children and just accept Jesus as their forever friend. I know that she's had that time to do so, and I'm just so thankful.
That she reached out to so many people. The stories are just coming in of people that she would meet with, elderly people,
So she would go to their house and take them lunch every week just to meet and talk and visit with them. And took them to the hospital and took them for cancer treatments and took them anywhere that needed emotions. All she was willing to be there for people to help them where they needed help.
She just wanted people to know that God loves them.
I knew Pat as the leader of the prayer warriors, and I knew that I could email her a prayer request at any time and it would be prayed for. And I also know that she prayed for all the children that came to VBS every day.
The thing that impressed me so much about her was she would always call you by name, and she would always call my children by name when she saw them. And when we were overseas so many times, I knew she was always praying for us.
So generous, so kind. I mean, she made me feel special. And then she touched me and she said, I see Jesus in you.
I need a boy.
And she gave me a hug and she said, I love you. And I'll never forget her.
Waiting for her in line, she was always there with the hand sanitizer and getting the kids cleaned up, and just the explanation, she would always explain each snack with such just utter love for Jesus and wanting the kids to know about him. And I just always love that about her. And this week has definitely not been the same without her. So we love you, Miss Pat, and can't wait to see you in heaven one day.
Pat was a woman of God.
Yes.
She put God first. She put others second. She was always the last. She put herself last all the time. I mean, she prayed for everyone in this church. She will take your case as her case. She will turn everything to be about you.
I know for 20 years.
I don't remember. She did the song Feliz Navidad. I miss it.
I met Pat 15 years ago when I moved to Maryland, and my first Sunday here, I was sitting in the back by myself, and she came up and said, I haven't seen you before, and shook my hand and gave me a hug. And about 2 years later, she asked me to help with VBS.
Yeah.
Pat is the person. If she says she's praying for you, she is praying for you, and she will pray for you, pray for your loved ones until you tell her that everything's okay. And I just so appreciate that so much about Pat. I especially appreciate the prayers that Pat has given for my granddaughter Faith and for her sister Mackenzie. Pat, I love you for it. Thank you so much for being so faithful. It meant so much to me that you were just loving on my granddaughter and on Mackenzie. I'll never forget you for that. Thank you.
That woman is incredible when it comes to emails. I terribly miss her. But I also know that where she is the place that I want to be. And I know she's guaranteed a spot beside Jesus. Pat, I want you back here, but it's okay that you're not, because your memories, your work, and your love lives on.
I'm sure she's getting snack ready for everyone in heaven.
Yes, I'm sure she is.